If you've spent any time looking into web application security, you already know the name Burp Suite. For years, it has been the undisputed baseline, the proxy tool every penetration tester is expected to know inside and out. But that dominance comes with some well-known baggage. Because it is built on Java, running heavy scans or leaving it open for days can chew through your system's memory, eventually leading to crashes. Plus, at around $450 a year for the professional tier, it poses a steep upfront cost for independent researchers. Enter Caido. Built from the ground up in Rust, it promises a highly responsive, lightweight alternative. It operates with a modern browser-based interface, feels lightning fast, and offers a much more forgiving subscription model at roughly $100 a year or even a low monthly rate. This gives us a direct matchup. On one side, the Java heavy hitter that defines the industry standard. On the other, the Rust-powered challenger, costing a fraction of the price, but still carrying the beta label. This forces a difficult choice. Do you break away from a massive, established ecosystem to get a faster, modern workflow? Or is relying on software that is still in active beta development too risky for your daily work? The proxy you choose sits at the absolute center of your testing environment. Making the right call here dictates how much time you spend actually hunting for vulnerabilities versus how much time you waste managing memory spikes, troubleshooting plugins, and paying for overhead. Let's look at how the underlying code dictates performance. The primary divide here is Java versus Rust. Burp Suite's Java architecture means it runs identically on nearly any older operating system. The interface relies on heavy, dense tabs, which is great for organizing information, but over long multi-day testing sessions, the memory footprint inflates massively. Caido's Rust foundation does the exact opposite. It is incredibly lean. The interface is highly responsive. You can resize UI elements on the fly, and memory consumption stays remarkably low even when juggling massive amounts of traffic. But that modern build carries a cost. Caido is in beta, meaning you will encounter bugs. The user interface changes frequently as they push updates, and it lacks the rock-solid stability that Burp has earned over decades of active use. Moving into the actual testing process, the most crucial component is the proxy intercept. In Burp Suite, the HTTP history tab automatically captures every single interaction between your browser and the server. Because it grabs everything by default, your screen will quickly fill with background noise, tracking pixels, third-party analytics, and irrelevant API calls, unless you meticulously manage your scope settings up front. Caido handles this traffic differently by using its own query language called HTTP-TUL. Instead of scrolling checkboxes, you type syntax to isolate exactly what you want, like specific session tokens or domains. But you must learn this query language, trading Burp's simple checkbox filters for a powerful manual text search. Your preference here comes down to which type of friction you tolerate better. You can manage Burp's heavy resource usage and strict scoping rules, or invest the upfront time to learn a new query syntax in Caido. When it is time to automate attacks and brute force parameters, Burp Suite uses a tool called Intruder. Intruder is incredibly precise. Using its grep extract feature, you can run hundreds of automated requests and pull very specific data points, like a user ID or a dynamic token, straight out of the server responses into a clean column. The catch is that on the free Community Edition, Portswigger intentionally throttles Intruder's speed. To run these attacks at a usable velocity, you have to pay the $450 upgrade fee. Caido counters this with its Automate tool, focusing on parallel attack strategies directly inside the proxy. You can drag and drop inline word lists and rapidly fuzz multiple parameters at once, completely unthrottled on the free version of the software. However, Caido's fuzzer is currently fairly basic. It lacks the hyper-granular payload processing options, encoding rules, and extraction features that make Burp Pro so formidable. This difference in maturity becomes even more obvious when we look at extensibility. Burp Suite features the B App Store and a fully integrated dynamic application security scanner. This gives you immediate access to hundreds of community-built extensions and an enterprise-grade vulnerability scanner right out of the box. If you need to test a specific API structure, someone has likely already written a Burp extension for it, but you are relying entirely on those third-party developers to keep their extensions updated. Loading too many of them simultaneously is exactly what drives up that computing overhead. Caido takes a do-it-yourself approach, offering visual, node-based workflows and inline JavaScript scripting. Instead of downloading extensions, you visually program automations, like setting Caido to catch 403 errors and inject bypass headers automatically. But troubleshooting custom JavaScript takes significantly more time than clicking Install on a pre-made Burp plugin. This extensibility model defines your actual day-to-day workflow. You must decide if you want to spend time purely auditing the application or if you prefer engineering the custom tools to do so. At their core, both of these tools successfully intercept, read, and manipulate HTTP traffic. They both get the job done. The right choice depends entirely on your professional role, the demands of your clients, and your specific budget constraints. If you are an enterprise pen tester dealing with strict, compliance-driven audits, the choice is clear. The premium cost and heavy footprint of Burp Suite Professional are simply mandatory. Its mature vulnerability scanner, reporting features, and BApp ecosystem are non-negotiable for corporate deliverables. But what if you're a solo bug bounty hunter or independent researcher? Operational speed and budget are your highest priorities. Here, Caido shines. You trade legacy extensions for high-speed workflows, extreme customization, and a lower cost, testing at the speed of modern development. Finally, there's the student, or the absolute beginner who is just starting their cybersecurity education. Despite the heavy restrictions on intruder speed, Burp Suite Community Edition remains the most strategic starting point. It integrates seamlessly with Portswigger's free Web Security Academy. Learning the fundamentals of web vulnerabilities is much easier when your proxy perfectly matches the curriculum's instructions. Selecting a hacking toolkit is a commitment. By aligning the software's capabilities with your specific career trajectory, you ensure maximum return on your technical investment.